Hi, my name is John Bosworth, and I'm a licensed mental health counselor in St. Petersburg, Florida, in private practice. I'd like to talk a little bit about the average income of psychologists. When people think of psychologists, mostly they think of the clinical psychologist in private practice, so I'll start there. Um, Clinical psychologists in private practice, depending on what area of the country you're in a major metropolitan area, can definitely earn in excess of six figures, depending upon how much they want to work or what their working hours are and the working conditions. Some psychologists in a school setting might make anywhere from 45,000 to 65 or 75,000. And again, you'll see some statistics on I think it's the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and they will cite different numbers. But basically, in my experience and with people that I know in the field, school psychologists and working for an organization, in some kind of psychological capacity, whether it's more guidance or more testing, you can make anywhere probably from, like I said before, 45, 50 grand on upward, maybe, to 75 or 80. Clinical psychologists in private practice actually can make a different amount too. I think the average is probably anywhere between 85 and 100 in an established practice. Clinical psychologists can also work in a variety of forensic settings, and again, the pay would depend on how long they've been there. If it's a government setting, of course, they would have seniority. The longer you're there, you probably get more pay and benefits. But most people think that clinical psychologists, automatically are going to make some money. And as an adjunct professor at University of South Florida, I try to teach my students that knowing your theory and being sound on the clinical side of it is one thing, but actually marketing yourself and making sure that people know you and you're finding good referral sources, to help and reach as many people as you can is just as important. So I like to spend a lot of time on the clinical side of things and making sure that they've got a good clinical basis, but also recognizing that there's a business side to it, and most people tend to neglect the business side. And if they work on the business side, they tend to do much better as far as income and as far as reaching people that actually need some help. My name is John Bosworth, and I've been talking a little bit about the average income of psychologists.